Alright, we got getting the chat up. It's not up yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Okay, chat is up online, folks. And I'm hoping that we can get through this tonight. I think we can. There might be some stuff that we got to do here, but I think that we'll get through this okay.
Girl 79. Hi.
There is my beautiful wife. Hello, my love. Glad that you can
Ninja Girl 79.
be here with
Welcome.
me, as always.
At Ninja Girl 79.
Tell Andy hi, so we're on YouTube,
Hi,
buddy.
my love.
Sending to Andy.
Send. I can tell you that David will be here, but not yet. He is dealing with some other stuff right now, but he will be joining us.
At Ninja Girl 79.
I'm very
Okay, cool.
insistent
Ninja
on
Girl
making things
79.
work. So
BRB.
I'm going to go ahead and close. We did get GSX working. We're going to set some volumes here. Just change some volume settings here real quick. Okay, that volume okay with you guys? And then I need to know, I don't think you guys can hear that yet. I'm going to have to add, hold on.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. Good evening, everyone. At Ninja Girl 79.
Can you guys hear?
At Ninja Girl 79.
Can you guys hear the boarding? The lady talking? I don't think you can. Let me add first officer.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. No, we can't.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Okay, what about now? Can you... Well... Now it's not playing this sound, so... I don't know if you heard that or not. We might still have to run GSX outside of TFM because I'll work on that. That's not a big deal. But
at Brandon Armstrong 2656. Yes, I just heard boarding process started.
Okay.
Passengers boarding starting.
Now you should be able to hear the passengers. Well, it quiet and downed a bit, but you should be able to hear it. If not, let me know. I hope that you all hear it. Okay, I'm gonna go. I really wish that I don't like.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656.
IRS is aligned.
I can hear the passengers but not the other boarding sounds.
What do you mean the other boarding sound? It's kind of quiet. You should hear the cockpit. You can't hear that fan? It's just because it's a lower volume, but if you can hear the passengers, that's all one sound, so you should be hearing that too. If not, I'm not sure. I'll look at it here later. Alright, let's get our route. That's what I don't like about First Officer 6 is I don't know where my first officer is. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said. That's my first reason. Main reason of not liking First Officer 6. Because executes. Then we'll select it for our Route 1 uplink. Yeah, that's all one sound, Brandon, so you should hear it, but I've got it turned down quite a bit. So maybe that's why. You should be hearing the lady saying good evening. This way. Babe, do me a favor. Come to me. Well, I'll come to you. No, there's no GSX. So I don't know how he heard that lady, but you can't hear GSX.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. No, I can't hear her saying that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't hear it at all. I don't know how you heard the voice. But either way, I'll fix it here a little bit. Let's get the main stuff situated and then
Girl 79.
We'll fix one
Can't
thing at
hear
a
it all.
time. Yeah. I think. Let me see. How can I do that? Maybe. Oh, that's because GSX is not going through. I don't know what it's going through. It's going through TFM. You're not hearing TFM. Hold on. Let me fix this first.
At the blind pilot. Hi John. You're loud and clear.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I got to figure out GSX so you guys can't hear it. Hold on. Why did it
Ninja Girl
not?
79. Hello there.
Let me select that. I messed up the.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. How's your day going today, Christy?
And like I said, I'm still trying to figure out why First Officer turns the power off. But we'll figure that out later.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Why is it not taking that?
At Ninja Girl 79. Going pretty good, how about yours?
Hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm right up on that mic. I didn't realize that. Alright, why is it doing that? Bear with me, it's being stupid about the route, guys.
At Brandon
Passengers
Armstrong
boarding starting.
2656. Mine's going good.
For some
the
reason,
blind
it's
pilot.
not.
Hi at Brandon and Christy.
It's really weird. Okay, let me check something. I think I know what maybe happened. I don't think it's seeing that flight plan. Let me go look. Let's go to the downloader.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. How's it going? I'm guessing that's Ron. At Ninja Girl 79. Is that you, Ron? At the blind pilot. Yes, Brandon, it is me. Smiles. At Ninja Girl 79. How's it going, Rob? At Ninja Girl 79. Ron. At Brandon Armstrong 2656.
Okay.
Good to see you back with us, Ron. How's it going with you?
Hey,
What?
move. I think Arlie's stuck.
He ain't stuck. He's not stuck, honey.
Okay.
He's just standing here looking at me. What do you want, Bubba? What do you want?
I just gave him a little some peanut butter snack.
No. No. Come on, move. Ozzy, get out of there. Move. Move. No, over here. Come on, move. I'm gonna hit your feet. There you go. Good boy.
At the Blind Pilot. Hi, back at the two of
All
you,
right.
Brandon
Let
and
me
Christy.
see. Hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy? See, I can select it, but it's not loading it. Let me see.
We can't. No.
At Ninja Girl 79. Glad you are back.
Then I can activate it.
Back up.
What?
Back up.
Phil?
I ain't got nothing. No more. No more. You want a snack. You just came in.
But 4's not letting me. Okay, I think I know why though. Alright, so we're gonna do this because I was messing with other stuff and I think it reset it. So let's just close that now that I know what we gotta do here.
At
Fir-
the Blind Pilot.
First officer
I'm honored
should.
that BFIH John had me in his group of contact when he's online.
No.
Absolutely, buddy. Here's what we're gonna do. And by the way, I am going to be doing a video another time showing you guys how to add hotkeys, how to set up your devices, and how to do all that stuff too. But not on this stream here. Alright.
Pause menu. Currently highlighted. Settings. End flight. Settings. Main menu. Button.
Alright, we're going to do
Press
this
Q to
just to be
Settings.
safe.
Button. End flight. Restart. Button. End flight. Button.
We're going to go to...
Press Q to free cam. Press ESC to back. Set. Main menu. Button. Press ESC to cancel. Press space to select.
Alright,
Main menu.
so here's what we're going to do.
World photographer.
My AirAct
Button
data
one.
is out of date, and I think it's 2 out of
Press
date
ESC to
because
quit the
I've not
desktop.
done a flight on
Press
this
space
one
to
before.
select.
It's way out
Press
of
R to
date.
release notes. Press B to pop-up dialog. Quit to desktop.
So
Are you
let's
sure you want to leave Flight Simulator
close the
2024?
sim for a minute. You guys should still be able to hear me. You won't see nothing necessarily, but if you're like me, you won't see nothing anyways, right? Okay. We'll close that and let's see if we can get this AirAct data updated. Oops, wrong one. Okay, we'll go here. Alright, here we go. That's another thing I didn't do. There it is. Yeah, there was an update for the airplane too. That could have been a ground problem there, actually, with the SDK. I'm going to run to help you out because I know you really want to get what's going on. So when we start back up, I'm going to go through some stuff just to kind of help you guys understand where stuff is. You're not necessarily going to hear my reader. I guess I could do that, but I'm just going to tell you. And I'm going to make a tutorial for this as well. Getting started with 2024. It's going to be a text tutorial, and it's also going to be converted to audio. If it helps somebody, great, and if nobody uses it, that's okay too.
At Gare156QH. Are y'all from Indiana? Surrounding area? Y'all sound like my friends and neighbors.
Well, I'm not. Who are you first? What's the name? Who was that? Did you see that message, hon?
No.
Asked if we was from Indiana. That
At Gare156QH.
at Gare.
Are y'all from Indiana?
Gar.
Surrounding area? Y'all sound like my friends and neighbors.
Can I answer that?
Who? I mean, I'm not gonna. I can tell you, I'm close enough to Indiana. I'll tell you that. That's about as far as I'll go.
You must be from Gary, Indiana.
Well, not necessarily. It's, you never know.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. I think they're on another channel. I didn't see that message.
Yeah, it came through because I heard it come through Christie's.
It's not online, it was on.
It's on BVI though, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, are you listening through BVI?
No.
Okay.
At Ninja Girl 79. It's on V.
I mean, it's fine either way. It's all good. I just don't recognize the name, but okay. So I updated the Navigraph. You need to make sure when you run 2024, make sure you've got that stuff updated. We're going to do everything fresh here. Okay, we're going to go
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah. We're just going to go to someone go to SimBrief. And we're just going to make a fresh flight plan. We're still going to fly out of Indiana. I mean, that's my home state. Go to dispatch. Hit new flight. And we are FDX. Alright, somebody give me 3 numbers. Anybody. 3 numbers. Wait for you guys.
At Ninja Girl 79. 936.
936. I like it. Alright, so Indiana, K-I-N-D.
At Andy Heisel. But Wild is on board.
And are we still going to be going? You guys still want to do Fort Lauderdale?
No.
No?
At Ninja Girl 79. Hi Andy, how ya been?
I got one. Let's go to Detroit.
There we go.
KDTW.
At Andy Heisel. 666.
Sorry, you're old and slow, so too late, my friend.
At Ninja Girl 79. Hell no. At Brandon Armstrong 2656. Yes.
Alright, so we're gonna... There we go.
At Ninja Girl 79.
KCLE is
At
our
Brandon Armstrong
alternate airport.
2656. No, let's go to Fort Lauderdale.
Now we're gonna go to Detroit. I've already got it in.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656.
And then we'll do,
He's back with us, the old man's back, lol.
we'll fly to Fort Lauderdale from Detroit. Alright, generating flight plan. Alright, flight plan is generated. Alright, 31,000. Cost index is 74.
At Gare 156QH. Kentuckiana more specifically.
I didn't even see what you said, Gare. Gare, I don't know what to call you there. But, yeah, I didn't even see what you,
At the Blind Pilot. Cleveland's only roughly 2 hours west of me via ground.
Okay, and then... $318 passengers.
At Ninja Girl 79. Hugh in Jeffersonville, lol.
Fuel. $17,490.
At Gare 156QH. Okay, cool.
And then route. We'll have the window back open here in a minute, guys. Just hang tight. Alright. 23 right.
Gare156QH. Yet I don't blame you because you never know about people.
I mean, it's not that I don't, like, I'm not saying nothing like, you know, everybody really knows I'm from Indiana, so even if I say, hey, I'm from Indiana, I don't really go too deep. But yeah, I'm from Indiana, dude. 23 right. But I usually just, you know, in the beginning, I kind of
At Ninja Girl 79.
try to make sure I'm not talking to a troll.
I'm from Indiana. At Gare156QH. Are you guys streaming on Twitch as well or something?
Well, I'm on like 4 different platforms. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitch, we're on 2 channels on YouTube. Okay, there's that. Okay, so I've got everything that I need now. And now we're going to open the sim here. So let me go up here. Alright, now we're going to load 2024. We updated the Iraq data. We updated, because that could have been the problem too, where it wasn't updated. Depended on how far it was outdated. That could have been why power was being the way it was. So we'll see when we start up here. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so it's not squilling on you guys. There we go.
At Gare156QH. Can somebody point me in the right direction here because I'm in here all by myself, but there's other conversations happening elsewhere.
Gare, go and while you're on YouTube and type in all one word, Lounging with John. We're live on that
At
channel.
Brandon Armstrong
Come over there.
2656. The question is, will it take off right this time?
So it's going to be, well, it will, Brandon, but the reason it didn't last night, I didn't feel like going back through and doing it over. All right, so go to Lounging with John on YouTube, all one word, Lounging with John, John, and then we're live on that channel. That way you're part of the conversation. I know how you feel. You're kind of talking, but no one else can see you. So come on over to the lounge. We'll be glad to have you, my friend.
At Ninja Girl 79. Come on over here and chat.
Absolutely. The more the merrier. Whatever, you get it. Okay. Now, yep. We love all the company that we can get over here, don't we, babe? We would love to have you join the conversation.
At Andy Heisel. You got it right there, boy. The more the merrier, LOL.
That's right.
At Ninja Girl 79.
All right.
Yes, we do.
It's loading the world data, so hold on. We're almost there. When you first load Microsoft
Microsoft Flight Simulator
2024, it's going to
2024.
take a minute just like it does on 2020. But then
Start. Button. Accessibility. Button
it's
1 of
going
2.
to start out with accessibility
Press ESC
right
to
in the
quit to
front
desktop.
window. And then
Press space to select.
I believe by default it's going to be talking. So if you need the reader, it's already going to be there.
Accessibility.
The only thing you're going to
Button 1 of
see
2.
when it first loads
Press ESC to
is
quit to accessibility.
At
accessibility
Brandon
One of two.
Armstrong
Start.
2656.
and start.
Andy
Press
did your
ESC to quit to
glasses
desktop.
update to software
Press
version
select.
22.
That's the. I'm going to wait for him to answer that glasses question because we're going way off topic here. Go ahead and answer that, and then we'll.
Access. Start. Button 2 of 2. Press ESC to quit to desktop. Press space to select.
I just don't want no one to miss what I'm showing here. So, he probably did get the update. I would think. Old man's still got to get his fingers on his phone to answer Brandon's question. That'd take at least 10 minutes. Bear with him, Brandon. He's old.
At Andy Heisel.
There we go.
Yes, that was the update that came out a couple of days ago. Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Accessibility.
So you got
Start.
accessibility and
Button 2 of
start.
2.
You hit if you hit
Press ESC to quit to
accessibility,
desktop. Accessibility. Button
you
1 of
hit
2.
your space bar on it.
Notification.
You're
10
going to
new free upgrades
see
available in the marketplace.
a couple different
Currently
options
highlighted.
here.
Visual assistance. Activated. Toggle
Okay,
switch.
it's going to say
Press space to
visual
adjust.
assistance
The visual assistance
activated.
preset configures a range of
or
settings that may aid
it's
users
not
with
going to be
low vision,
activated.
including enabling screen
In my
narration of UI
case,
menus.
it's
Increased
activated.
font size of UI. Auditory assistance.
Auditory
Activated. Toggle switch.
assistance.
Press space to adjust. The auditory auditory assistance. Activated. Toggle switch. Press space to adjust. The auditory assistance preset configures a range of settings that may aid users with reduced or no hearing, including enabling dialogue subtitles, adjusting volume to favor dialogue in multiplayer voice chat over other audio sources, increasing the intensity of rumble feedback on supported controllers. Each setting can be further adjusted in the options menu.
I
Setting 2
really
of 4.
don't think we need
Press
that.
ESC. Auditory assistance. Deactivated. Toggle switch. Press space to adjust.
That doesn't
The auditory
benefit.
assistance preset configures a range
That's
of settings
for-
that may aid users with reduced or no hearing, including enabling dialogue subtitles.
It's for
adjusting volume to favor
subtitles.
dialogue in multiplayer voice chat over other audio sources.
And then of course
Increasing
it
the intensity of rumble feedback
adjust
on supported
volume
controllers.
and stuff for
Each
people
setting
that
can be
have,
further adjusted
you
in
know,
the
hard
options
time
menu.
hearing.
Setting 2 of motor assistance. Deactivated.
Motor
Toggle switch.
assistance, that
Press
is
space to adjust.
deactivated.
Cognitive assistance.
Cognitive
Deactivated.
assistance, that's
Toggle switch. Press
deactivated.
space to adjust. The cognitive assistance preset configures a range of settings that may aid users with a cognitive disability, including reducing camera shake during flight, defaulting to external camera
So
view
if
during
you have a
flight. Each setting
cognitive
can be further adjusted in the options menu.
condition,
Setting 4 of 4. Continue.
that would
Button.
benefit you.
Cognitive assistance. Deactivated. Motor assistance. Auditory assistance. Visual assistance. Activated. Toggle switch. Press space to adjust.
And actually,
Visual
I
assistance.
think if
Visual
you
assistance. Activated. Motor. Cognitive assistance. Deactive. Continue. Button.
go down to continue, I don't
Press
think you
ESC to
see
back.
the.
Press space to select. Press Q to main menu. Currently highlighted. World photographer.
All right, we're on the
Button
main
1 of 6.
menu now.
Press ESC to quit to
From the
desktop.
main menu,
Press
you're
space to
going to
select.
see
Press R to release notes.
it's
Press
going
B
to
access
land
options
you
and social
on.
features.
Can you guys hear the Sappy talking or no? That's going to help me from having to tell you guys what it says. Yep, I can hear it. Okay, so the first thing it lands you on,
World photographer. Button 1 of 6.
World Photographer,
Press ESC to
is
quit to desktop.
not what
Press
you
space to
want.
select. Press R to release notes. Press B to access
You
options
can by
and social
all
features.
means go in there and explore, but you don't want that. If you down arrow,
Challenge League. Button 2 of 6.
you got Challenge League.
Press ESC to quit to desktop.
You don't want that, but
Press space
again,
to
you can
select.
explore it
Press
if you
R to
want.
release notes. Activities. Button 4 of
Activities.
6.
At Brandon Armstrong
Press ESC to quit to
2656.
desktop. Press space to
Yes,
select.
we can.
Press R to Marketplace. Button 6 of
Marketplace.
6. Buy additional content.
And then
Press
if
ESC to
you
quit to desktop.
go back
Press
up
space to select. Activities.
to
Button 4 of
activities
6.
and right arrow,
Free flight. Button 5 of 6.
you'll see free flight.
Press ESC to quit
That's
to
what
desktop.
you want.
Press space to select.
Above
Press R to
free
release notes.
flight, if you
Press
up
B to
arrow,
access career. Button 3 of 6.
you got career.
Press ESC to quit
Don't
to
mess
desktop.
with that because
Press
I
space
don't
to
know
select.
how that
Press R to
works.
release notes. Press B to access options and social features. World photographer. Button
and
1
then
of 6.
back to world photographer. Someone down arrow
Press E. Career.
twice, and then
Button 5 of 6.
there we go. We're on free flight. Hit
Press ESC
space
to
bar.
clear. Free flight. World map screen.
Now,
Press G to switch to
once
panels.
you do that,
Press numpad minus sign slash numpad plus sign to zoom.
you have to
Press
hit.
ESC to
At
back.
Gear
Press space to select.
156QH.
Press B to access
Okay,
options and
I
social
found you
features.
guys.
Good deal.
By
Cool,
default,
and
this
thanks,
screen uses
John.
an analog cursor
Hey,
to pan and zoom the 3D
anytime.
globe when using
And
keyboard
I'm
or controller.
Really
Cursor display plan
glad to
is
see you
available by
over here
pressing
at
G
the
to switch focus to
lounge.
panels.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Set your notifications to always. That way you know when we're going live. I really appreciate you being here with us. All right, so when you're on this window, you'll notice I'm hitting my arrow keys.
At Ninja Girl 79.
It does nothing.
Welcome to the Rubber Ducky crew.
Now, for sighted people, that's different. But we need to hit the letter G as in golf.
Aircraft selection button. Currently Boeing 777-300ER.
And so we're
Select
on
to configure or change aircraft.
the
Press G to switch to
777.
world
Now,
map.
I believe
Press
there's...
departure aircraft
We're
selection.
going to look at
button.
this. I'm going to hit
Currently
space
Boeing
bar
7-
on that.
Select aircraft screen. Boeing 777-300ER. PMDG.
Now, I'm going to see if
General
there's a
Electric
way to go into
115B.
different settings here.
XXXX.
Hold on, let me
Cost
see.
is 000.000. Available aircraft. Press H to help. Press ESC to save and back. Press space to select. Press F to configure.
Here we go, F.
Configure Boeing 777-300ER screen. Aircraft variations tab. Review the specific variant for this aircraft. Boeing 777-300ER. General Electric GE90-115B. PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button.
Oh, hold on. It put me on configure. I've never been in this window. That's why I'm...
PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button. Aircraft management, fuel, and payload tab. Currently highlighted. Manage fuel. Now deactivated.
So if you hit E and Q,
Aircraft management, fuel,
that goes
and
through
payload
the
tab.
tabs.
Tail number N40370. Assign a tail number for your aircraft. This will appear
At
on the
Ninja
aircraft
Girl
exterior.
79.
Press H
How's
to
it
help.
going, Gare?
Press ESC to save and back. Press space to select. Press B to access options and social features. Aircraft management, fuel, and payload tab. Currently, aircraft variations tab. Review the specific variant for this aircraft. Boeing 777-300ER. General Electric GE90-115B. Currently highlighted. PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button.
So if I hit that button, hit spacebar, and I think...
PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button. PMDG House N773ER 2024. PMDG House N773ER
Okay, let
2024.
me hit escape because I don't know what
Aircraft
that does.
configuration button.
All right.
Select aircraft screen. Boeing 777-300ER. PMDG. General Electric GE90-115B. XXXX. Cost is 000.000.
I don't know how you
Available
switch
At Gear
to
aircraft.
156QH.
the engines on this
Boeing
one.
777-300ER.
Thanks at Ninja Girl 79.
General Electric GE90-115B.
Well, it could be going worse, so that's a good thing, I
Cost
guess.
is 000.000.
I was trying to look
Haha,
and
I'm
see.
glad I finally found where you all were here on
Aircraft
this
variations
channel.
tab. Review the specific variant for this aircraft.
So let me
Boeing
hit F.
777-300ER. General Electric GE90-115B.
I believe there's a way.
PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button.
At Ninja Girl 79.
PMDG
Glad you
House,
finally joined us and you are welcome.
2024. Aircraft configuration button.
Yeah, I think.
At Brandon Armstrong
PMDG House,
2656.
N770. Aircraft management,
Welcome to the
fuel, and
channel.
payload tab. Currently highlighted.
Fuel and
Manage fuel.
payload.
Button. Now deactivated.
I don't know what that means. That just says now deactivate. I don't know what that is. So anyway,
Aircraft
we'll
management.
just go ahead and go.
Aircraft variations tab. Review the specific variant for this aircraft. Boeing 777-300ER. General Electric GE90-115B. Currently highlighted. PMDG House
Okay, so if I hit-
N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button.
That's configuration button.
PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button. PMDG House N773ER 2024. Aircraft configuration button. PMDG House, N77, Aircraft Management, Fuel, and Payload tab. Currently highlighted.
Okay, so we're just going to go
Review
back
the specific variant for this aircraft.
because I don't know
Boeing
what.
777-300ER. General Electric GE90-1
So
Select
back to
aircraft
just
screen.
picking the airplane.
Boeing
You get on the
777-300
airplane
ER.
that you want.
Boeing F/8. Boeing 777-300
So right here, hit your space
PMDG.
bar,
General
hit
Electric
escape,
GE90-115. Free flight. World
At
map.
Gear
now
156
you're back on
QH.
free flight.
Press
Thanks
numpad
at
minus
Brandon
sign slash numpad
Armstrong
plus sign to zoom.
2656.
Press ESC to back.
And guys,
Press space to select.
anytime that you
Press
go
these
out of
access
a
options and social
menu,
features.
after you pick your
By default, this
airplane,
screen
after
uses an
you
analog
pick
cursor to pan and
your
zoom the 3D view when
departure
using
and
keyboard or
arrival,
controller. Cursor-less
it'll
flight
take
planning
you
is
back,
available by
and you
pressing
got to
the
hit
switch.
G
Aircraft
again.
selection. Departure
See,
location
there's
not specified.
departure.
Combo box.
We'll type in
Select your choose starting
KIND.
point.
Give it a
Time.
minute to load in KIND. It's going to
Press
tell
enter
you
to
to hit
validate.
enter to validate.
Search
And
results.
then we're going to
20.
down arrow.
Time. Indianapolis INTL.
There's the airport I
Indianapolis.
want. I hit
Drop
space
down list
bar.
item. Press space to
And
select.
there we go.
Now
We
activated.
selected it. Now we'll hit G again.
Kind Indian. Clear text.
And I'm going to
Switch
right
button.
arrow
Arrival location not
to
specified.
arrival location.
Press enter to
KDTW.
validate. KDTW. Search results. KDTW.
And there's
Detroit
the
Metro
airport.
Winco.
Hit my
Detroit.
space
Now
bar.
activated.
I've already configured
Clear text. Flight conditions.
over here.
Button.
Flight conditions,
Select
that's
to
your
adjust
weather
weather
and all
parameters.
that.
The amount.
All that's done been
Switch
set.
button. Kind Indianapolis INTL.
Okay, so
Aircraft
now-
selection button. Kind Indianapolis runway.
Go to the
23R.
runway, hit
Drop
space
down.
bar,
Runway.
and I'm going
Runway.
to. I already know it's in like 108, so I got to hold the down arrow for a minute.
Parking 42 ramp card. Parking.
These are all smaller parking, and we can't do that. So
Parking 74 ramp card. Parking. Parking 116 ramp GA large. Parking 117 ramp GA medium. Drop down list item. Parking 116 ramp GA large.
we'll go with that one.
Parking 116 ramp GA large.
Now that I've got
activated.
that picked, we're going to do Control Enter. Now, for the first time, you're going to hear that wind noise longer than what you're going to hear it with me. Because if it's the first time you've loaded the airplane, okay?
At Ninja Girl 79.
You need to
BRB
set
y'all.
parking brakes to request ground services.
Ready to fly.
Alright, so ready to fly, we'll hit spacebar.
Press space to select.
And then I'm going to hit Shift C. That's going to go into the airplane. Now, I've got PMVG set to go to apron. But what I want to see before we use the apron fully, I'm going to see if the update fixed everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to load TFM. Oh, and GS,
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
FSU IPC, I got to load that too. So let me get that.
Lay down. Lay down.
Let me go load FSU IPC. I forgot. For some reason, it doesn't load automatically when but I bet when I do an update, it probably will. Alright, FSU IPC is now connected. Alright, now TFM.
United 20 Tree Tree. You are not clear to take off.
Alright, that's the ATC in 2024. Now we're going to go to
United 20 Tree Tree. You are not clear to take
Dollar
off.
subtitle. Dollar description.
interesting. It says CDU's powered off. Okay, so. But we'll go to panels.
United 20 Tree Tree. You are not clear to take off.
Interesting, the battery's connected. But it's realistic, so it might take a minute for it to warm up. So let me wait and make sure.
United 20 Tree. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Okay, still saying it's powered off. Let me see what's going on. Huh? Do what? Oh, you're fine. Okay, I think there's a way to
At Gare 156QH. At Ninja Girl 79, no, not in Jeff but a bit further north in Mellencamp country.
Well, I don't like the fact that
At Ninja Girl 79. Oh, okay.
let me do something here, guys, because should be giving us power here, and
At Ninja Girl 79. Seymour?
let me go look at this file real quick. Why did it not? I set it for apron, and I was hoping that would fix our issue, but we'll fix it though, don't worry. It's something simple, I'm sure. Alright. Data.
At Gare 156QH. LOL, not far from there. I'm up in the same county.
Let me go to the file that I need to see.
At Ninja Girl 79. Cool.
Oh, wrong photo. There we go. Alright, let me look. Okay, yeah. Okay. We're going to change it back to we're going to change this back to let me go here and no, oops, wrong file, I don't want that. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go, that's what I want. Give me 1 second, fellas. Oh, I gotta find this file real quick. Just it. I think this way, yeah. And by the way, I have a clothes file if anybody ever wants it. Give me 1 second, guys. I saved a file last night and I want that, so give me 1 second. You know, instead of searching, I can just go grab it quicker than searching for it. We'll just go here and grab it. Go to users.
At Gare156QH. Any other Xbox MSFS simmers in the house?
No, I think you might be the only one there. I'm just going to grab the info I need real quick. Local state. Here. There's what I want. The INI file. Startup panel say equals code dart. Okay, that's what I want. Alright, let's go to Microsoft real quick. We're
Pause
just
menu.
gonna,
Currently highlighted. Resume.
just so I know.
Press Q to free cam. Restart. End. Settings. Main menu.
I'm
Button.
gonna go back to the main menu that way I can
Press Q to
load
free
the
cam.
file
Press
back
ESC to
in.
back. Pop-up dialog.
Alright.
Back to main menu. This action will take you back to
That won't take no
main
time.
menu.
Look at that, we're already back
Currently
in the main
highlighted.
menu.
World
Okay.
photographer. Button 1 of 6. Press ESC to quit to desktop. Press space to select. Press R to release notes. Press B to access options and social features.
Startup panel state equals code dart GPU. That's what we want. Okay, save it. Okay, now
World photographer. Challenge. Career. Button. Free flight.
free flight.
Free flight.
This is
World
quick.
map
Watch
screen.
how quick this
Press
goes.
G to switch to aircraft select. Departure location not specified. Combo box. Select your kind. Search results. Kind. Indianapolis INT. Now activated.
There's that.
Kind. Clear. Switch. Arrival location not specified. Combo box. Select year to change.
At
in-
Brandon
KD
Armstrong
Search results.
2656.
KDTW.
There's
No,
that.
I don't have an
Now
Xbox.
KD. Clear. KDTW Detroit Metro Wayne Co. Switch button. Kind Indianapolis. Runway. 23R.
I'm
Runway.
already getting our runway, guys. And getting ready to hit start again. That's how quick it is.
Parking 49 ramp card. Parking.
I like that you can arrow down now and it
Parking
reads it.
73 ramp. Parking.
It makes it a lot easier to get the runway.
Parking 113 ramp GA medium. Parking 114 ramp GA large. Drop down list item. Parking 115 ramp GA large. Drop down list item. Parking 116 ramp GA large. Parking 117 ramp GA medium. Parking 100. Parking 100 and Parking 115 ramp GA large. Now activated.
Okay, now. Now it should go to code and dark when we load in. I want to see if the new update fixed the problem we was having.
Ready to fly. Button.
And then you do Shift C to get into the cockpit.
At Gare 156QH. Damn, I love that PMDG 777.
All
I
right,
use the 200ER.
that's a good airplane, my friend. I love the 200. I'm gonna get that one installed next once I get everything, all the little bugs worked
At
out.
Gare 156QH. I don't like the company, but I love their products.
Yeah, I love flying the 200. I think it's one of the best airplanes that they came out with. But all I can say is stay tuned, folks, because there is something
Dollar
big
subtitle. Dollar
coming
description.
around the corner. Oh, and I got something else to say here in a minute. Just because. All right, so there that is. Let's load TFM.
At Gare 156QH. At Brandon, I'm using an Xbox with a Velocity 1 flight yoke. It works really great, but of course Xbox users have limitations. We can't use add-ons like GSX and things like that.
But see, what would be cool is if they made it accessible on the Xbox where it would talk for visually impaired simmers. That'd be really awesome if they did.
Dollar subtitle.
And I'm
Dollar
using
description.
the Honeycomb Alpha, which is a very, very good, reliable yoke. By the way, Honeycomb's got a new yoke that's less expensive. It's like a yoke all-in-one type of thing. It's pretty cool. All right, so TFM is loaded.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. Oh, I know that's the only thing I don't like about simming on Xbox.
All right, we're going to run First Officer 6. All right, there's the 77.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Going up to Detroit. I hope it works now. And I'll show you what it's doing, Garrett, whenever we try. And I don't know what First Officer's doing, but it was giving us problems to where ground power was never available. Alright, so let's see what it does. Now if it does it again, we'll just set it to apron long or apron short. That'll give us everything turned on and we can still do our flight. But I wanted to test this first.
Boarding requested.
Yep, see, it's still doing it.
Do you want a board crew?
If there was a way for me to
Passenger's bus is coming.
There is a request GPU, so I hit that button. Saying it don't give me
Passengers boarding starting.
I don't get no power. Even when I hit request GPU. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to use the apron long. So we're going to exit that. And then close that.
Pause menu. Restart. End flight. Restart. Button. Pop-up dialog. Restart flight. You will restart your flight from your starting point.
Alright, let it
Ready to fly. Button.
Alright, we're in the cockpit. We're gonna do something a little different here. For some reason, it's killing the ground power, and I don't fully understand why it's doing that. Okay, I'm going to have to kill that code and dark
$subtitle.
setting. Son of a
Description.
gun. Alright, no big deal. I think somebody's trying to call me. Who?
At Gare156QH. Another sucky thing about Xbox is that we have to pay at least $10 a month to do multiplayer, whereas PC users can do multiplayer and not be charged specifically for that.
What's bothering you, baby? What's wrong? I mean, what's going on? What?
$subtitle. Description.
Do you feel sick of your stomach or anything?
My head feels fine. It's like on my phone.
Are you getting a headache?
No. I just started feeling funny.
Well, I took the ear off so I can keep an eye on you. The wife's feeling kind of not feeling good, guys, so she might not be talking right now at the moment. She gets migraines a lot, but that's not what's going on now. She just says she feels just kind of like lightheaded. Let me go and
Dollar
change
subtitle.
this.
Dollar description.
So we're going to change this.
At Brandon Armstrong 2656. I hope she feels better.
We're going to get rid of that. That way it'll start out with the engines on.
At Ninja Girl 79. Ty Brandon.
Hold on, guys. I'm just checking something here real quick. I almost feel like this stuff needs to be at the bottom.
At the Blind Pilot. John, it's sounding like 24 is finally accessible and easier than 2020? Here's hoping Christy is feeling better soon.
I'm wanting to say yes, run, but I want to make sure we figure out this bug. Okay, now we're gonna...
At Ninja Girl 79.
Pause menu.
Tyron.
Main menu. Settings. Main menu. Button. Pop-up dialog. Back to main menu. This action will take you back to the main menu in your flight.
Can we hit yes
Main
real
menu.
quick?
Currently
Okay, we're
highlighted.
on main menu.
World photographer. Button 1 of 6.
I'm gonna save that.
Press ESC to quit to desktop. Press space to select. Press R to release notes. Press B to access options and social features.
Okay. Now,
Challenge leak.
go
Activities.
back
Free flight.
to free flight.
Free flight.
Set
World
up
map
our flight
screen.
again real quick.
At Gare
Departure
156QH.
location not specified.
I
Combo
have to
box.
deal with
Select
headaches
your
a lot
digit.
too, and they're so
History.
aggravating.
Kind. Indianapolis.
Try not
Now
to look
activated.
at the
Now
screen right
activated.
now if you don't have to. Sometimes
Kind.
that can
Clear
make
text.
your
Switch
headache
button.
worse.
Button. Arrival location not specified. Combo box. Select. History. KDTW. Now activated.
There we go.
Now activated. KD. Switch button. Kind Indianapolis. Runway. 23R. Runway. Runway.
Alright, let's get our gate again real quick. What is your name, by the way? Because my screen reader pronounced it as Gare.
Parking 101 ramp GA medium. Parking 104 ramp GA medium. Parking 114 ramp GA
Huh?
large. Drop down list item. Press space to select. Parking 113 ramp GA medium. Drop down list item.
You live in
Press
Jackson
space to
County?
At
Parking
Brandon
114
Armstrong
ramp GA large.
2656.
Drop down list item.
I
Parking
hate dealing with
114 ramp
headaches.
GA large. Now activated.
All right. All right, now it's going to start out with the airplane
Ready to
running.
fly. Button.
But I needed to do that. Well. Yeah. Okay.
At Gare 156QH. Yeah, like Gare. You got it. Yeah, I'm in Jackson.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna go
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
here, and then I'm gonna go to let's go to apron and see what it does.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
All right. Now we're on apron. And we should have
Notification received. New upgrade. Notification received. New upgrade.
what? All right. I think it's on apron now. It should be. And then we'll go back to the main menu. Now, first officer better not turn our stuff off. Okay. It should just go by what we got going. It shouldn't kill our power. If it does, then Now this better. Okay, ground power units on. Doors. That. Seriously? Okay, ground power is still on. There we go. All right. All right. Battery's back on. Okay. Okay, for this flight, we're not going to do GSX again. Because I want to make sure that we can get through this. And I figured out what's going on. First officer is just turning stuff wrong. He's not doing what he's supposed to do the right way. Like he turned off the battery when it was already on. And see, there's even a button to request a GPU unit, but it don't work. Okay, I think. Alright, we're at Indianapolis. That is super loud. I need to turn that down. Alright, I gotta turn first officer down. That's way loud. That was super loud. I had to turn that down. Babe, how are you? Babe, you okay? Alright, we're at Indianapolis, going to Detroit. I don't understand. It's not loading the flight. It's doing nothing like it does when you program this on 2020. This doesn't make sense to me. I've got I wonder, let me check my flight plans. I feel like Simbridge maybe not putting the flight plan where it belongs and it's not reading it. App data. Packages, and we'll go to Microsoft. Limits, local state. Work. And then yeah, the flight plan's there. But why is it not? We're going to see maybe the Okay, that's there, but do I got it in the path right? Let me see.
At Leonian Universe. Hey John, how's Msfs2024 treating you?
I'm having trouble getting it off the ground, to be honest. It's not. First officer's turning my power off. We're having issues right now. But we're trying to get through it, not giving up. Just all part of simming. We'll get it. We're going to check sim brief. I wonder. Well, no, sim brief has got to be putting it there. So this is a CDU thing. I wonder if I started up. See, I can select it. $23. We'll see what happens here. I don't know. I don't know if this is a TFM issue or if it's a 2024 issue. We're going to try something. Well, now, as soon as I went to decline departures, TFM completely froze on it. Yeah, I heard, hon.
Slide to join this tab.
Hold on, guys. Yeah. You're a fool. You're a fool. Well, man, I know you are. Hold on.
At Ninja Girl 79. I'm here. At Ninja Girl 79. He's on the phone, he will be right back. At Brandon Armstrong 2656. Same here.
Alright guys, I'm back. I think we'll still be able to do this, guys. I'm looking at everything and it looks like so far it's let me put everything in here. So alright, we're doing 5 on flaps. $154 for V1, $159 VR, 4.50 for V2. Or I mean, 165 for V2, and then 4.5 is our trim. Oh yeah, we're good, guys. You just got to do it a little different. Um, I don't know, but I got it working. I don't know why it didn't do the route 1 link upload, because I got that enabled. But we're good, I think. Alright, we're going to shut the doors. I don't know why it's dinging, guys. Okay. Now I gotta figure out what button does the trim, because I really don't know. Aha. I found the trim. On the numpad, it's number 1 for now. Oh, never mind. I got it working on my yoke. Okay. Alright, we're going to take that. I think first officer is the biggest problem here, guys. Why'd you turn the fans and stuff off? Okay, I think first officer is jacked up. That or TFM is reading stuff backwards. We'll find out in a minute. If this airplane don't start up. All right. We're going to go ahead.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen. Tested. Measuring open. Flight instruments. Pressure in. Set.
Oh my God, now what?
Pre-flight checklist completed.
It don't make any sense. So here's what we're going to do. Just hold tight, guys. I'm fixing it. First officer is all messed up. That's all I can say about that.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Like, first officer is messed up.
Engine started.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Come on.
Engine stabilized.
Hold on. Auto throttle is. Hold on, guys. It's
Pause menu.
let me fix my
Currently
keys
highlighted.
here. There's a
Resume.
key messed
Button.
up on the yoke.
Restart.
So
Button.
hold on a
End
minute.
flight. Settings. Button. Press Q to free cam. Press
Settings.
ESC to back. Press space. Settings. General screen. Tab 1 of 5. Currently highlighted. Graphics. Settings. Assistance. Settings. Mouse. Button. Keyboard. H.alpha flight control. Action settings. H. Text input field. Search by input. All. Drop down list. Press space to open. Search. Text input field. Action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button. Rename. Deactivate. Hardware settings. Rename. Action settings. Text input field. Search by input. All. Drop down list. Press space. All. Drop down list item. Essential. Drop down list item. Assigned. Drop down list item. Unassigned. Drop down. Assigned. Drop down list item. Assigned. Aileron trim left. Input type is airplanes. Aileron trim right. Input type is airplanes. Elevator trim down. Nose down. Aileron trim. Aileron trim left.
Let me
Text
turn
input
off.
field.
There's
Aileron-
something doing
aileron trim.
auto throttle.
Elevator
Let me
trim.
get rid of
Elevator
it.
trim. Decrease flaps. Extend flaps. Increase flaps. Retract flaps. Rudder trim left. Rudder trim right. Toggle arm spoiler. Increment spoilers. Decrement spoilers. Input type is airplane. Extend spoilers. Aileron left. Aileron right. Center ailer rudder. Elevator down. Elevator up. Center rudder. Input type is airplanes. Rudder right. Your toggle water rudder. Toggle lights. Toggle auto rudder. Input toggle anti-ice. Toggle flashlight. Input type is toggle lights. Input toggle flash. Toggle auto smoke toggle. Toggle avionics master. Toggle master battery in. Select airspeed bug. Select altitude bug. Select heading bug. Input type is airplane. Select VSI bug. Toggle tail hook handle. Input type is airplanes. Autopilot airspeed hold. Decrease autopilot reference out. Increase autopilot. Toggle autopilot approach hold. Toggle autopilot attitude hold. Toggle autopilot flight level. Toggle autopilot heading hold. Toggle autopilot localizer. Toggle autopilot mock hold. Toggle autopilot master. Autopilot and 1 hold. Decrease autopilot and 1. Increase autopilot. Decrease autopilot reference.
I gotta find auto throttle. Hold on, guys.
Decrease autopilot rep. Increase autopilot. Toggle autopilot. Arm auto throttle to GA. Input. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus single quote. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar description.
Oh, whoa. We don't want
Press
this
ESC
one.
to go
It's the
back.
wrong
Press
controller.
space to select. Action settings. H.alpha flight. H.alpha flight control. Keyboard. But H.alpha flight control. Button. Action settings. Door lights switch jump. Door lights switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplane. Quick reply. Open communicate.
Hold
Quick
on.
reply. Toggle grapple hook. Door lights switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar description. Press E. Action settings. Button. Toggle grab. Toggle. Action settings. Button. Now deactivated. Primary. Secondary. Button. Primary. Button. Primary. Secondary. Button. Primary. Button. Primary. Button. Secondary. Button. Primary. Button. Secondary. Primary. Button. Toggle grapple hook.
Hold on.
Input type is airplanes. Quick reply. Input. Toggle grapple hook. Action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button. Action settings. H.alpha. Toggle grapple hook. Toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplanes. Action settings. Button. Toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is action settings. Button. Primary. Button.
Oh, damn it, where's it at? Hold
Toggle
on,
grapple hook.
guys.
Action settings. H.alpha. Rename. Deactivate. Hardware settings. Action settings. H.alpha flight. H.alpha flight control. Action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button. Rename. Deactivate. Hardware settings. $alt text. Button. $alt text. Button.
Okay, it's not there. Hold
Toggle
on,
grapple
guys.
hook.
Bear with
Input
me.
type is airplanes. Prime. Quick reply. Input. Toggle grapple hook. Door light switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplanes.
Where is
Primary
it?
binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is select to rebind this. Quick reply. Input type is toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplanes. H.alpha flight control. Keyboard. H.alpha flight control. Button. Press ESC to action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button. Toggle action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button.
I gotta remember, how do I... hold
H.alpha
on.
flight control. Button. Press ESC to save and back. Press space to select. Press H to more info. Press enter to search. Press B to access options and social features. H.alpha flight control. Button. H.alpha flight control. Button. Press ESC to save and back. Press space to select. Press H to more info. Press enter to search. Press B to access options and social features. H.alpha flight control. Button. Press ESC to back. Press B to access options and social features.
Come on.
H.alpha flight. Action settings. H.alpha. Toggle grapple hook. Toggle grapple hook. Input type is airplanes. Action settings. Button. Quick reply. Input type. Toggle grapple hook. Door light switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Second. Toggle grapple hook. Action settings. H. Toggle grapple hook. Input. Now deactivated. Now deactivated. Action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button. Door light switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is select to rebind this control. $description. Door light switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 4. Secondary binding is select to rebind this control. $description. Press space to select. Press B to access options and social features.
What is that?
Now deactivated. Now deactivated. Action settings. H.alpha flight control. Button.
Alright, I gotta figure out how to get these settings. Hold on,
Rename.
guys.
Deactivate. Hardware settings.
No.
Deactivate. Rename. Deactivate. Hardware settings.
Should be under there.
$alt text. Button.
What is it doing?
Door light switch jump. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding. Quick reply. Input type is general. Action settings, H.alpha flight control. But, action settings, keyboard. But, action settings, mouse. Button. Action settings, H.alpha flight control. Button. $alt text. Button. Quick. Door lights switch jump. Input type. Door lights switch jump. Action settings. Button. Now deactivated. Now deactivated. Primary. Button. Secondary. Button. Primary. Button. Primary. Secondary. Button. Now deactivated. Now deactivated. Primary. Button. Door lights switch jump. In $alt text. Button. Resume. Button. $subtitle. $description.
Hold on, guys, because it ain't letting me. It keeps turning on my auto throttle. Alright, I gotta figure this out. We're not gonna be able to fly with auto throttle doing that.
Restart. End flight. But settings. Button. Settings. General screen. Tab 1 of 5. Currently highlighted. Settings. Assistances screen. Tab 2 of 5. Settings. Value is honeycomb alpha airplanes profile alpha. Action settings. Mouse. Button. Mouse. Button. Action setting. Text input field. Press. Search by input. All. Drop down list. Press space to open. Radio. Controls category. Flight control services.
Here we go.
Controls. Lights. Instruments and systems. Autopilot.
I got
Control.
it.
Brakes.
There we go.
Power management. Landing gear. Tools. Multiplayer. Communications. Landing gear. Power management. Brakes. Autopilot. Controls category head. Airspeed. Out. Approach. Attitude. Back course. Flight level change.
I found
Heading.
it, guys. Let me go
Collapsible
deactivate
Mach.
these.
General. Bank. N1. NAV. Pitch leveler. Speed. Vertical speed. Wing leveler. Auto throttle. Flight director. Auto throttle. Collapsible list header. Arm auto throttle. Auto throttle disconnect. Input. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary bind. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Auto throttle to GA. Input type is. Flight director. Yaw damper. G meter. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide it. Yaw damper. Flight.
Yeah, I think I might
auto
have
throttle.
it fixed.
Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Selector. Auto throttle. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide additional settings within this section. Press ESC to go back. Flight director. Collapsible. Auto throttle. Collapsible list header.
Alright, let's see if I
Press space to
fixed
show or hide
it.
additional setting. Autopilot. Controls. Action settings. Mouse. Resume. Button.
You need to stop the engines to request ground service.
Okay.
Pause menu.
One more
Currently
thing.
highlighted.
The runway
Resume.
light. Hold on.
Restart. End flight. Settings.
That was
Button.
kind of my fault, guys.
Settings.
So hold on. a
General
minute.
screen. Tab 1 of 5. Currently highlighted.
Okay.
Graphics. Settings. Assistances screen. Tab 2 of 5. Currently highlighted. Settings. Value is honeycomb alpha airplanes. Action. All. Drop down list. Radio. Controls category. Lights. Controls category.
Here we go.
Exterior. Interior lights. Collapsible list head. Exterior lights. Collapsible list header. Press. Toggle lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding. Beacon lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Landing. Landing lights home. Input. Landing lights down. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights home. Landing lights left. Landing lights right. Input type is. Landing lights left. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Landing lights. Landing lights up. Landing lights off. Landing lights on. Set landing lights. Toggle landing lights. Input type is airplanes. NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Set NAV lights. Set recognition lights. Strobes off. Strobes on. Input type is airplanes. Toggle strobes. Input. Taxi lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select. Toggle strobes. Input type is airplane. Taxi lights on. Input type is airplanes. Primary
Almost
binding
got
is.
this guy
Secondary
about
binding
down
is.
here.
Select to rebind this control. Dollar description. Set taxi lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button 25. Secondary binding is. Toggle beacon lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select. Toggle logo lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to toggle NAV lights. Input type is airplanes. Toggle recognition lights. Input toggle taxi lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Toggle wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar disc. Wing lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar wing lights on. Input type is airplanes. Set wing lights. Input type is set logo lights. Input type is interior lights. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide additional set. Cabin lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is joystick button
Let's see.
25.
There we
Secondary
go. Turn
binding
that up.
cabin lights off.
I'm just turning
Input
all
type is
these
airplanes.
off, guys.
Primary binding is set cabin lights. Input type is airplanes. Glare shield lights off. Input type is glare shield lights on. Set glare shield lights. Input toggle glare shield lights. Decrease light potentiometer. Input type increase light potentiometer. Panel lights off. Input type panel lights on. Input set panel lights. Input type is pedestal lights off. Input type is pedestal lights on. Input type is set pedestal lights. Input type is toggle pedestal lights.
You know what's cool
Input type
about
is
this, guys,
toggle cabin lights.
is
Input type is airplane. Toggle flashlight. Input type is general. Primary binding is joystick button 21. Secondary binding is toggle cabin lights. Toggle flashlight. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is lights. Action settings. Mouse. Resume. Button.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Hold on, guys. Okay, I gotta fix your runway light. Hold on.
Currently. Settings. Button. Main menu.
Damn
Pop-up
it.
dialog. Back to main menu.
Oh well, shit
This action will
happens.
take you back to the main menu and your flight will end.
No.
Current main menu. Settings. Button. Settings. General screen. Tab 1. Settings. Assistances screen. Settings. Mouse. All. Drop down. Radio. Flight lights. Instruments and lights. Controls category heading. Interior lights. Collapsible list header. Exterior lights. Beacon lights off. Input toggle lights. Beacon lights off. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Landing lights down. Landing lights home. Landing lights down. Input type. Landing lights home. Input type is landing lights left. Input type is air. Landing lights right. Input landing lights up. Input type is landing lights off. Landing lights on. Input set landing lights. Input toggle landing lights. NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Input set NAV lights. Set recognition lights. Input type is airplanes. Strobes on. Input type is set strobes. Input type toggle strobes. Input taxi lights off. Taxi lights on. Input set taxi lights. Toggle beacon lights. Toggle logo lights. Toggle NAV lights. Toggle recognition lights. Input type is airplanes. Toggle wing lights off. Input type is toggle wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary wing lights off. Wing lights on. Input type is set wing lights. Input type is set logo lights. Input interior lights. Collapsible list header. Press space to show lights. Action settings. Map. Resume.
Right runway light. Where is that at? Hold on.
And main menu. Settings. Settings. General screen. Tab. Settings. Settings. Mouse. Value. All. Drop. Radio. Controls. Flight control surface. Lights. Instruments and systems. Lights. Controls. Interior lights. Collapsible list header. Cabin lights off. Cabin lights on. Set cabin. Glare shield light. Glare shield light. Set glare shield. Toggle glare. Decrease light. Increase light. Panel lights off. Panel lights on. Set panel light. Pedestal lights off. Pedestal lights on. Set pedestal light. Toggle pedestal. Toggle cabin light. Toggle flashlight. Input type is general. Primary binding. Decrease light potential. Toggle glare. Set glare.
Where is
Glare
runway
shield light.
lights?
Glare shield lights off. Set cabin light. Cabin lights off. Cabin lights off. Interior lights. Exterior lights. Text input field. Exterior lights. Toggle lights. Beacon lights off. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Landing lights down. Landing lights home. Input type is landing lights left. Landing lights off. Landing lights on. Set landing lights. Toggle landing light. NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Set NAV lights. Set recognition light. Strobes off. Input type is airplanes. Strobes on. Input type is airplanes. Set strobes. Toggle strobes. Taxi lights off. Taxi lights on. Set taxi lights. Toggle beacon light. Toggle logo lights. Toggle NAV light. Toggle recognition. Toggle taxi light. Toggle wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Wing lights on. Set wing. Set logo lights. Cabin lights off. Cabin lights on. Set glare shield lights on. Set glare shield. Toggle glare shield. Decrease light potential. Increase. Panel lights on. Input type is airplane. Pedestal lights on. Input. Set pedestal light. Toggle pedestal light. Toggle
Where
cabin lights.
is
Toggle
runway
flashlight.
lights?
Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this. Toggle cabin lights. Toggle flashlight. Input type is. Set logo lights. Input type. Set wing lights. Wing lights on. Wing lights off. Input type is airplane. Toggle NAV lights.
Do what?
Input type is airplanes. Toggle logo lights. Toggle beacon light. Set taxi lights. Taxi lights on. Taxi lights off. Toggle strobes. Set strobes. Input type is airplane. Strobes off. Set recognition light. Set NAV lights. NAV lights on. Input type is NAV lights off. Toggle landing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. NAV lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary NAV lights on. Input set NAV lights. Input type is airplanes. Set recognition lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding. Set NAV lights. NAV toggle land. Set landing light. Landing lights on. Landing lights off. Landing lights up. Landing lights right. Landing lights left. Landing lights home. Landing lights down. Set beacon lights. Input type is airplanes. Beacon lights on. Beacon lights off. Toggle
where
lights.
is
Input type is
runway
airplanes.
lights?
Text input field. Press space to enter text. Press E. Exterior lights. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide additional setting. Text input field. Press space to enter text. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Press H to more info. Runway. Press enter to validate. Add runway. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Runway. Text input field. Add runway. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Runway. Text input field. Add runway. Input type is general. Runway. Text input field. Press ESC to go back.
Hold on, guys. I
Press
gotta get
space
the
to select.
runway light to turn
Press H
off.
to more info.
Or we're gonna have
Press enter to
problems.
search. Add runway. Runway. Text input field. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Press H to more info. Press enter to search. Press enter to validate.
Just put in.
Light. Set aileron. Aileron trim left. Aileron trim right. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Elevator trim axis. Flaps axis. Spoilers axis. Horizontal thrust. Vertical thrust vector. Set vertical speed. Elevator trim down. Elevator trim up. Toggle elevator trim. Set elevator trim. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. Flaps 3. Flaps 4. Decrease flaps. Increase flaps. Set flaps. Decrease flaps. Extend flaps.
I gotta
Increase
find
flaps.
this runway
Flaps
light,
axis.
'cause-
Retract flaps. Set rudder trim. Toggle rudder trim. Rudder trim left. Reset rudder trim. Disarm auto spoiler. Arm auto spoiler. Set auto spoiler. Toggle arm spoiler. Increment spoilers. Decrement spoiler. Retract spoiler. Extend spoiler. Spoiler set. Toggle spoilers.
Bear
Decrease
with
horizontal.
me, guys.
Increase horizontal. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Set vertical speed. Center. Aileron right. Rudder axis. Center ailer rudder. Elevator down. Elevator up. Center rudder. Rudder left. Rudder right. Toggle water rudder. Rudder. Ailerons axis. Elevator axis. Gyroscope toggle lights. Beacon lights off. Input type is airplanes. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Input type is airplanes. Cabin lights on. Set cabin lights. Glare shield lights off. Glare shield lights on. Set glare shield light. Toggle glare shield. Landing lights down. Landing lights home. Input type is airplane. Landing lights down. Input type is airplanes.
It ain't
Primary
landing
binding
lights.
is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights home. Landing lights left. Landing lights right. Landing lights left. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights right. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Selector. Landing lights up. Input type is landing lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights up. Input type is airplane. Landing lights off. Landing lights on.
Bear
Input
with
type is
me, guys.
Set landing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary toggle landing lights. Input type is airplanes. Decrease light potentiometer. Increase light NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Set NAV lights. Input type is airplanes. Panel lights off. Panel lights on. Input type is airplanes. Set panel lights. Pedestal lights off. Pedestal lights on. Set pedestal lights. Toggle pedestal lights. Set recognition lights. Strobes off. Strobes on. Set strobes. Toggle strobes. Taxi lights off. Taxi lights on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Set taxi lights. Toggle beacon lights. Toggle cabin lights. Input type is airplanes. Toggle NAV lights. Toggle recognition lights. Toggle taxi lights. Input. Toggle recognition lights. Toggle taxi lights. Input. Toggle wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Wing lights off. Input type is wing lights on. Wing lights off. Wing lights on. Set wing lights. Set toggle flashlight. Set logo lights. Input type is airplane. Toggle flashlight. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary bind. Toggle autopilot flight level change. Autopilot flight level change. Autopilot flight level. Flight director. Toggle. Increase attitude bars. Set attitude bar. Auto rudder off. Auto rudder on. Set auto. Avionics master. Avionics master. Set avionics. Avionics master. Avionics master. Set avionics. Set avionics. Set cabin lights. Decrease. Increase decision altitude. Decrease decision height. Increase decision height. ELT off. Input type is airplanes. ELT on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Set ELT. Input type is airplanes.
Where
Toggle
is
ELT.
that?
Input type is air. Set external system. Toggle external system. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary set external system. Input type is
External
airplanes.
system.
Toggle external. Set glare shield lights powers. Decrease heading indicator drift. Increase heading decrease heading bug. Increase heading bug. Decrease inductor increase inductor. Decrease acknowledge master caution. Master caution off. Master caution on. Set master caution. Toggle master caution. Acknowledge master warning. Master warning off. Master toggle master warning. Set panel lights power. Set pedestal lights power. Decrease climb rate pressure. Increase climb rate. Set increase altitude pressure. Pressure. Reset. Toggle alternate static. Toggle attitude K. Toggle avionics. Toggle GPS drive. Toggle turn indicators. Toggle variometer switch. Set true airspeed calculator. Decrease true airspeed. Increase true airspeed. Set Zulu day. Input type is airplanes. Set Zulu minutes. Set Zulu year. Select airspeed. Select. Set altimeter to MSL pressure. Set clock.
I'm looking
set
for
clock.
that setting,
Minute.
guys.
Set multiple
I
covers.
don't see
Set heading
it.
indicator. Select heading bug. Set head. Set low height warning gauge. Set low height warning. Set Mac Creddy setting. Select VSI bug. Input type is airplanes. Set freeze altitude. Toggle. Set freeze attitude. Toggle freeze attitude. Input type. Toggle. In flight. In flight. In flight UI panel. Zoom. Explore flight plan. Input type is general. Menu manage flight plan. Load and save free. Toggle flight assist. Next flight phase. Quick pre-flight. Decrease door lights switch. Door lights switch get ready. Increase door lights door lights switch jump. Door lights switch off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Door lights switch jump. Door lights switch off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is.
I don't see
secondary
that light
lights.
anywhere.
Controls category. Instruments and systems. Controls category heading. Anti-ice. Engine instruments. Flight instruments. Collapsible list header. Miscellaneous. Fuel. Flight instruments. Engine instruments. Anti-ice. Collapsible list header. Anti-ice. Engine instruments. Collapsible list header. Flight instruments. Collapsible list decrease attitude bars position. Increase attitude. Set attitude bars position. Auto rudder off. Auto rudder on. Input type is airplane. Toggle auto rudder. Input. Avionics master. Avionics master. Set avionics master. Avionics master. Avionics master. Set avionics master. Set avionics master. Decrease decision out. Increase decision. Decrease decision. Increase. ELT on. Input. Set ELT. Input. Toggle ELT. Set toggle decrease heading indicator drift. Input type is airplanes. Toggle set external system. Input type is airplanes. Primary toggle external decrease
I think
heading.
you got an
Increase
idea,
heading.
though.
Decrease heading bug.
But that
Increase
don't
heading
help
bug.
you guys
Decrease
any.
inductor increase inductor. Decrease Mac cred. Increase master caution off. Master set toggle master caution. Input type is air. Toggle master acknowledge master warning on. Set master warning. Toggle master warning. Decrease climb rate. Increase climb rate. Set climb rate pressure. Decrease altitude. Increase altitude pressure. Pressure dump switch. Reset G-force in. Toggle alternate static. Toggle attitude cage. Toggle avionics master. Toggle GPS drive. Toggle turn indicator switch. Toggle variometer switch. Set true airspeed cal. Decrease. Increase. Set Zulu day. Set Zulu. Set Zulu. Set Zulu year. Select airspeed bug. Input type is airplanes.
Alright.
Set altimeter to set clock. Set clock. Minute. Set multiple covers. Input
What
type,
is going
instru-
on
Action
that
settings.
I'm not?
Mouse. Kind. Indianapolis INTL.
Brickyard 4580, you are not cleared to take off. Brickyard
You need to stop the
4580,
engines to
you are
request
not cleared
ground
to take off.
services.
Brickyard 4580.
Runway.
Pause menu. Currently highlight. Restart.
Let me go
End
back
flight.
here and look real
Set-
quick
main
again,
menu.
guys. I apologize, but
Settings. Button. Settings.
gotta have that
General
fixed
screen.
before I
Tab
take
1.
off.
Settings. Settings. Notification received. New upgrade. Current. Radio. Controls category. Flight control surface. Radio. Text input field. Press space to enter text. Press ESC to exit text field. Press enter. Runway. Add runway. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. $description. Press runway. Text input field. Add runway. Input type is general. Primary binding is runway. Text input field. Press ESC to exit text field. Press enter. Press enter to validate. Rudder trim left. Aileron left. Rudder left. Rudder axis left. Crossfeed left. Crossfeed right. Fuel selector. Fuel select. Fuel select. Fuel selector. Fuel selector. Fuel selector. Fuel select. Fuel. 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 Magneto. 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 Landing. Left brake axis. Landing lights left. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this
No,
control.
there ain't no
Dollar
control for
description.
that.
Left brake axis. Input type is airplanes. Cockpit quick view left. In cockpit quick view. Cockpit quick view. Cockpit look. Cockpit look left. Cockpit look up. Cockpit look down. Cockpit look left. Cockpit look up. Translate cockpit. Translate drone. Yaw drone left. Roll drone left. Yaw drone. External view look down. External view. External view look. External view. External. 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 Instrument view. Pan left. Pitch down and pan. Pitch up and pan. Roll left. Move backward. Move forward left. Move left. Slow roll left. Slow yaw left. Slow translate. VR. Cock. Cursor left. VR. Cock. EFB scroll left. EFB text box. Menu carousel left. Menu left. Menu scroll left. Text box move cursor left. Toolbar panel move left. World. Look left. Look up left. Look down left. Look left. Look up left. Move left slap. Move backward. Move forward. Strap left. Input type is general. Primary binding is. Secondary
Guys,
binding
I don't
is.
see a key
Select. Move forward left. Strap left.
for
Input
runway
type is general.
left, so why
Primary
is it
binding
doing
is.
that? I
Secondary
mean,
binding is. Radio. Controls category heading. Press ESC. Action settings. Mouse. Button. Keyboard. Button. Press ES. Radio. Controls flight control surfaces. Lights. Controls category. Exterior. Interior lights. Exterior lights. Toggle lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is semicolon. Secondary bind. Beacon lights off. Input type is airplanes. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Landing lights down. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights home. Input type is airplanes. Primary. Landing lights left. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary bind. Landing lights right. Landing lights up. Input type is. Landing lights off.
I'm looking for
Landing lights on.
runway.
Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Landing lights off. Landing lights on. Set landing lights. Toggle landing lights. Input type is airplanes. NAV lights on. Set NAV lights. Set recognition light. Strobes off. Strobes on. Input type is airplanes. Toggle strobes. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Taxi lights off. Input type is air. Taxi lights on. Set taxi lights. Toggle beacon lights.
Love you, babe.
Toggle logo lights. Toggle NAV lights. Toggle recognition lights. Toggle taxi lights.
Sorry, guys.
Input type is
it's
airplanes.
something that's gotta
Toggle
be
wing
fixed.
lights.
I can't
Wing
just
lights
take
off.
off with
Input
it.
wing lights on. Set wing lights. Set logo lights. Interior lights. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide
This
additional
is
settings
so
in this section.
weird.
Press ESC to go back. Press cabin lights off. Input type is air. Cabin lights on. Set cabin lights. Glare shield lights off. Glare shield lights on. Set glare shield light. Toggle glare shield light. Decrease light potential. Increase light potential. Panel lights off. Panel lights on. Input type is airplane.
Hey, bud.
Pedestal lights off. Pedestal lights on. Set pedestal lights. Toggle pedestal lights. Toggle cabin lights. Toggle flashlight. Input type is general. Primary binding is Alt plus F.
Okay,
Secondary
there,
binding is.
nothing there.
Select to rebind this control.
For
Dollar
runway.
description. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Press lights. Controls category. Instruments and systems. Autopilot. Instruments and systems. Anti-ice. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide additional. Anti-ice. Engine instruments.
What, Bubba?
Collapsible list header. Fuel. Flight instruments.
What do you want?
Collapsible list header. Decrease attitude bar's position. Flight instruments. Engine instrument. Flight. Decrease. Increase attitude.
What?
Set attitude bar's position. Auto rudder off.
Go out.
Input type is airplanes. Set auto rudder. Toggle auto rudder. Avionics master 1 off.
Alright, guys, bear with me. I'll be
Avionics
back
master
here
1.
in a second.
Set avionics master
Let
1.
the dog
Input
eat.
type is airplanes.
Come on.
Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar description. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Press backspace to unbind. Press H to more info. Press enter to search. Press B to access options and social features.
I got played, Mars. I just straight got played like a little bitch.
You did that to me earlier.
How rude! No more Twizzlers for you. Oh, I ain't got no Twizzlers.
Avionics
Let me
master
see,
2 off.
guys. I don't
Avionics master-
understand.
Set avionics master 2.
Here's what I'm going to
Input type is
do for
airplanes.
now.
Primary binding is.
I'm going to
Secondary binding
unplug
is.
the
Select to rebind this control.
The
Dollar
alpha.
description. Press ESC to go
just
back.
for now.
Press
And
space to
let's see
select.
if it still does
Instruments
it.
and systems. Controls category heading. Kind, Indianapolis INTL. Next waypoint ATC.B. 200.
0. You are not cleared to take off. Brickyard 4580. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Maintain VFR.
At Gare 156
Frequency change
QH.
approved. Good day.
LOL.
See, it's still doing left runway lights. And I don't even have it hooked up, so it's a weird bug. And I don't know what's doing it. Hold on, guys. Alright, I got you what the hotkey is for auto throttle.
Kind, Indianapolis INTL. Settings. Button. Settings.
Apologize, guys, but
Settings.
this is a
General
must.
Screen. Tab 1. Settings. Assistant. Settings. Search by input. Radio. Controls. Flight control surface. Lights. Instruments and systems. Autopilot. Controls category heading. Brakes. Power management. Controls category. Power management. Control. Mixture. Propeller. Collapsible. Condition levers. Mixture. Propeller. Throttle. Collapsible list header. Press space to show or hide additional. Throttle 10%. Input type is airplane. Throttle 20%. Throttle 30%. Throttle 40. Throttle axis. Input type is airplanes. Throttle next detent. Input type is airplanes. Throttle idle. Input type is airplanes. Increase throttle. Small. Hold throttle reverse. Toggle throttle reverse. Throttle 1 axis. Throttle 1 previous to. Throttle 1 decrease. Throttle 1 next detent. Throttle 1 idle. Throttle 1 increase. Throttle 1 increase. Throttle 1 axis. Throttle 2 axis. Throttle 2 previous to. Throttle 2 decrease. Throttle 2 next to. Throttle 2 idle. Input type is airplanes. Throttle 2 increase. Throttle 2 increase. Throttle 2 axis. Throttle 3 axis. Throttle 3 previous to. Throttle 3 decrease. Throttle 3 next. Throttle 3 idle. Throttle 3 increase. Throttle 3 increase. Throttle 3 axis. Throttle axis relative. Input type. Throttle 4 axis. Throttle. Decrease throttle. Increase throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is R. Secondary binding is F. Throttle 3 axis.
Hold on, guys. I apologize, but
Throttle 20%. Mixture. Condition levers. Mixture. Collapsible list header. Throttle. Collapsible list header. Throttle. Collapsible list header. Mixture. Collapsible list header. Condition levers. Text input field. Press. Condition levers. Condition lever 1 axis. Condition lever 2 axis. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Condition lever 3 axis. Condition lever. Condition lever. Condition lever. Decrease condition. Condition lever 1. Increase condition lever 1.
where is auto?
Text input field. Press space to enter text. Press ESC to exit text. Auto. Autopilot. Autopilot airspeed hold on. Set autopilot airspeed hold. Toggle autopilot altitude hold. Input type is airplanes. Autopilot altitude hold on. Autopilot radio altitude mode. Autopilot radio altitude mode. Set autopilot radio altitude. Toggle autopilot radio altitude. Decrease autopilot reference. Increase auto. Toggle autopilot approach hold. Input type is airplanes. Autopilot approach hold off. Autopilot approach hold on. Toggle autopilot attitude hold. Autopilot attitude hold. Autopilot attitude hold on. Toggle autopilot back course hold. Autopilot back course hold off. Autopilot back course hold. Toggle autopilot flight level change. Autopilot flight level change off. Autopilot flight level change off. Toggle autopilot heading hold. Autopilot heading hold on. Toggle autopilot localizer hold. Autopilot localizer hold. Autopilot localizer hold. Toggle autopilot mock hold off. In autopilot mock hold on. Autopilot toggle autopilot mock hold. Autopilot mock. Autopilot mock. Set autopilot mock hold. Decrease autopilot reference. Increase autopilot. Set autopilot mock reference. Set AP managed speed and mock off. Input type is air. Set AP managed speed and mock on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Set AP managed speed and mock. Toggle AP managed speed and mock. Input type is airplanes. Decrease autopilot max bank. Input type is. Increase autopilot. Autopilot and 1 hold. Decrease autopilot and 1. Increase autopilot. Set autopilot NAV select. Autopilot NAV. Autopilot. Autopilot pitch leveler. Autopilot pitch leveler. Autopilot pitch leveler. Decrease AP pitch hold rep. Increase AP pitch. Select. Increase AP reference airspeed in knots. Toggle autopilot. Autopilot VS hold off. Autopilot VS hold on. Set autopilot VS hold. Decrease autopilot reference. Increase autopilot rep. Toggle autopilot wing leveler. Input type is airplanes. Autopilot wing leveler on. Input type is airplanes. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Prime. Auto throttle to GA. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus closing bracket. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Autopilot airspeed acquire. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding. Autopilot airspeed hold current. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary bind. Set autopilot disengage. Input type is airplane. Toggle disengage autopilot.
Okay, so here it is.
Autopilot. Auto throttle to GA. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus closing bracket. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus single quote. Secondary binding is. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus opening bracket. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control.
Control open bracket.
Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Auto throttle disconnect. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus opening bracket. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. $description.
Okay, we're going to do it
Press
this
ESC
way.
to go back. Press space to select. Press backspace to unbind. Auto throttle disconnect. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus opening bracket. Secondary binding is. Autopilot wing leveler on. Arm auto throttle. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplane. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplane. Auto throttle to GA. Autopilot airspeed acquire. Input type. Autopilot airspeed hold current. Set autopilot disengage. Toggle disengage autopilot. Autopilot mock hold. Autopilot off. Autopilot mock. Toggle dis. Set autopilot. Autopilot airspeed hold current. Input. Autopilot airspeed acquire. Input type is airplanes. Auto throttle to GA. Input type is airplanes. Primary. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus single quote. Secondary binding is. Select. Arm auto throttle. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus single quote. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Arm auto throttle. Input type. Auto throttle disconnect. Arm auto throttle. Input. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus single quote. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. $description. Press ESC to cancel. Press space to select. Pop-up dialog. Duplicate profile. Currently highlighted. My new airplane's profile. Text input field. Press enter to validate. Apply to all airplanes. OK. Cancel. OK. My new airplane's profile. Text in. Apply to all airplanes. Press ESC to cancel. Press space to select. Press B to access options and social features. OK. Value is my new airplane's profile. Auto throttle to GA. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is shift plus R. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus opening bracket. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. $description. Press space to select. Press B to access options and social features.
Two young kids in love. How could you go wrong?
Auto throttle disconnect. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus R. Secondary binding is. Auto throttle disconnect. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is shift plus R. Arm auto throttle. Input type is airplane. Action settings. Mouse. Kind. Indianapolis IN.
There we go. This left runway light thing, I don't know what to do about that. We're going to try something real quick, though. Okay, so. Alright, so we're taking off from 23 right. God, this key is causing me a problem here. Let's do this. Hold on. Yeah, it's a button that's continuously going off. I don't even have my yoke hooked up. Let's see what's going on here.
Profile of Rage Monkey 2020. View statistic. Resume. Button. End. Main menu. General screen. Tab 1 of 5. Currently highlighted.
Okay.
Settings. Assistances. Settings. Mouse. Button. Action settings. Text input field. Search by input. All. Drop down list. Press space to open. Search by input. Button. All. Drop down list. Press. Radio. Flight control surfaces. Lights. Instruments and autopilot. Brakes. Power management. Landing gear. Tools. Multiplayer. Communications. Liquid drop system. Camera. Controls category. Menu. Controls VR. Controls category. Camera. VR. Controls category heading. Menu. Controls category. Cockpit. Player character. Developer mode. Banner hook. Banner pole. Skydive system. Controls category heading.
There's something making the left
Controls
runway
category
light shut off and on.
Press ESC to go back. Landing gear. Power management. Brakes.
And
autopilot.
that is a problem.
Controls category. Instruments and systems. Lights. Flight control surfaces. Radio. Controls category. Text input field. Press space to enter text. Press ESC to exit text field. Press enter to validate. Toggle aileron trim. Set aileron trim. Input type is airplanes. Aileron trim right. Elevator trim axis. Flaps axis. Spoilers axis. Horizontal thrust. Vertical thrust. Set vertical speed. Input type is airplanes. Elevator trim down. Elevator trim up. Toggle elevator. Set elevator. Flaps. Flaps 3. Flaps. Decrease. Increase flap. Set flaps. Decrease flaps. Extend flaps. Increase flaps. Flaps axis. Retract flaps. Set rudder trim. Toggle rudder trim. Rudder trim left. Reset rudder trim. Rudder trim right. Rudder trim set. Disarm auto spoiler. Arm auto spoilers. Set auto spoilers arm. Toggle arm spoiler. Increment spoilers. Decrement spoiler. Retract spoiler. Extend spoiler set. Toggle spoiler. Decrease horizontal. Increase horizontal. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Set aileron. Aileron. Rudder axis. Input type is airplane. Elevator down. Elevator up. Center rudder. Rudder left. Rudder right. Toggle water rudder. Rudder axis left. Rudder axis right. Ailerons axis. Elevator axis. Gyroscope. Toggle light. Beacon lights off. Toggle lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is semicolon. Secondary binding is. Select. Beacon lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Toggle lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is semicolon. Secondary binding is. Beacon lights off. Input. Beacon lights on. Set beacon lights. Input type is airplanes. Cabin lights off. Cabin lights on. Set cabin lights. Glare shield lights off. Input type is airplanes. Glare shield lights on. Set glare shield lights. Toggle glare shield lights. Landing lights down. Landing lights home. Landing lights down. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary landing lights home. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding. Landing lights left. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Landing lights right. Landing lights up. Input type. Landing lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to landing lights on. Input type is airplanes.
Okay.
Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Set landing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Second. Toggle landing lights. Input type. Decrease light potentiometer. Input type is airplane. Increase light potential. NAV lights off. NAV lights on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding. Set NAV lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary panel lights off. Input type is airplane. Panel lights on. Input type is airplanes. Set panel lights. Input. Pedestal lights off. Pedestal lights on. Set pedestal lights.
See, I don't see
Toggle
nothing
pedestal lights.
to do
Input.
with...
Set recognition lights. Input type. Strobes off. Input. Strobes on. Set strobes. Toggle strobes. Taxi lights off. Taxi lights on. Input type is airplane. Taxi lights off. Input type is airplanes. Taxi lights on. Input type is. Set taxi lights. Toggle beacon lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Toggle cabin lights. Input type. Toggle logo lights. Toggle NAV lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary toggle recognition lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Toggle taxi lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Toggle wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary wing lights off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary wing lights on. Set wing lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar description. Set logo lights. Input type is air. Toggle flashlight. Input type is toggle autopilot flight level change. Input autopilot flight level change off. Autopilot flight director. Toggle flight direct. Decrease attitude bars. Increase attitude. Set auto rudder on. Set auto rudder.
It's funny, guys, because I see nothing about left runway.
Set avionics avionics master. Avionics master. Set avionics map. Set avionics map. Set cap. Increase decision altitude. Decrease decision. Increase decision. Elt off. Elt on. Set elt. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Toggle elt. Input type is airplanes. Set external system. Input type is airplanes. Toggle external system. Set glare shield lights powers. Decrease heading indicator drift. Input type is airplanes. Primary increase heading decrease heading bug. Increase heading bug. Decrease inductor. Increase inductor compass. Decrease Mac cred. Increase Mac cred. Acknowledge master caution off. Input type is airplanes. Set toggle master. Acknowledge master warning. Master warning off. Master warning on. Set master warning. Toggle master warning. Set panel lights power set. Set pedestal lights power setting. Input. Set panel lights power setting. Input type is airplanes. Set pedestal light. Decrease climb rate. Increase climb rate. Set climb rate. Decrease altitude. Increase altitude. Pressure dump switch. Reset G-force Toggle alternate static. Reset G-force indicator. Pressure dump switch.
All
Input
the
type is
keys
airplanes.
you got that you
Primary
can
binding
set is
Secondary binding
incredible.
is. Increase pressure dump switch. Input type is airplane. Toggle alternate static. Toggle attitude K. Toggle avionics. Toggle GPS drives NAV1. Toggle avionics master. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is control plus X. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind this control. Dollar description. Toggle GPS drives NAV1. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Toggle turn indicator switch. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Toggle variometer switch. Set true airspeed calculator. Decrease true airspeed indicate. Increase true airspeed in. Set Zulu day.
But I don't see
set Zulu
nothing
hours.
about that
Input
line.
type is airplane. Set Zulu year. Select airspeed bug. Select altitude bug. Set altimeter to MSL. Set clock. Hours. Set clock. Minutes. Set multiple covers. Input type is airplanes. Set heading indicator drift. Select heading bug. Set heading bug. Input type is airplanes. Set low height warning gate. Set low height warn. Set Mac credit setting. Select VS. Toggle. Set freeze altitude. Input. Toggle freeze altitude. Set freeze attitude. Toggle freeze at. Set freeze lats. Toggle freeze. In-flight UI. In-flight UI. In-flight UI pan. Toggle flight assist. Next flight phase. Quick pre. Door light. Increase door light switch. Input type is airplanes. Door lights switch off. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is X. Secondary binding is. Select to rebind. Door lights switch. Increase door lights switch. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Next. In-flight.
I'm so confused on.
Set master caution. Master. Autopilot flight level. Toggle.
It's got to be it's got to be.
Rudder axis left. Input type. Set vertical speed to 0. Increase. Set flaps. Decrease. Flight. Text input field. Toggle aileron trim. Input type is air. Radio. Controls. Flight control surfaces.
Okay,
Lights.
so
Instruments and systems. Autopilot. Brakes. Controls category heading. Power management. Controls landing gear. Tools. Controls category heading. Light. Radio. Light. Radio. Controls category. Annunciator. Collapsible list header. DME. Collapsible. Colesman. NAV. Collapsible list header. TACAN. Collapsible. OB. XPNDR. Collapsible list header. Press space. Annunciator. ADF. Light. Text input. ADF. Collapsible list header. Press space. Flight control surface. Lights. Controls category. Flight control surface. Lights.
okay,
Controls
here's lights.
interior lights. Collapsible. Exterior lights.
And it's got to be
Collapsible
exterior.
list header. Toggle lights. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is. Secondary binding is. Beacon lights off. Input type is airplanes.
Beacon lights.
Primary binding is. Secondary binding is.
Huh?
Select to rebind this control. $. Beacon
There's
lights on.
no
Set
control.
beacon lights. Landing lights down. Landing lights home. Landing lights. Landing lights right. Input type. Landing lights left. Input. Landing lights right. Input. Landing lights up. Input. Landing lights off. Landing. Set landing lights. Input. Toggle landing lights.
There's
Input
nothing
type is
about
airplanes.
run.
Land. Light. Text
So
input
this has
field.
got to be
Press ESC to exit.
something in TFM.
Run.
Put in the word run.
Set run. Toggle run. Input type is general. Primary binding is space. Secondary binding is numpad 3. Select to rebind this control. $description. Set run. Input type. Toggle run. Input type is general. Primary binding is space. Secondary binding is numpad 3. Select to rebind this control. $description. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Add runway. Input type is general. Run. Text input field. Add runway. Input. Set run. Input type is toggle run. Input type is general. Primary binding is space. Secondary binding is numpad 3. Set run. Input. Add runway. Run. Text input field. Press ESC to exit text. On. Set aileron trim. Aileron trim left. Input type is airplanes. Aileron trim. Elevator trim axis. Flaps axis. Spoiler. Vertical thrust vector axis. Horizontal. Spoiler. Horizontal
looking to
thrust.
see-
Vertical thrust. Set vertical speed. Elevator trim down. Elevate. Set elevator trim. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. Flaps. Flaps 4. Increase flaps. Set flaps. Decrease flaps. Extend flaps. Increase flaps. Flaps axis. Retract flap. Set rudder trim. Toggle rudder. Rudder trim left. Reset rudder trim. Rudder trim right. Rudder trim set. Input type is airplanes. Arm auto spoilers. Disarm auto spoilers.
There's nothing
Arm auto
about
spoiler.
runway
Set
left
auto
and
spoilers.
right.
Toggle arm spoiler. Increment spoilers. Decrement spoilers. Retract spoilers. Extend spoilers. Spoiler set. Input type is airplane. Toggle spoilers. Input type is increase horizontal thrust. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Decrease vertical. Increase vertical. Set vertical speed. Center aileron. 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 Rudder axis. Input. Center ailer rudder. Elevator down. Elevator up. Center rudder. Rudder left. Y'all. Rudder right. Your right. Input type is airplane. Toggle water rudder. Input. Rudder axis left. Rudder axis right. Ailerons axis. Elevator axis. Gyroscope toggle. Alternator on. Set anti-I. Decrease attitude. Increase attitude. Set attitude. Auto rudder on. Avionics. Avionics mat. Set avionics. Avionics mat. Avionics mat. Set avionics. Set avionics.
This
Decrease
is
bleed.
crazy,
Increase
guys.
bleed. Set bleed air. Decrease increase decision. Decrease decision.
I cannot
Increase decision.
find-
Set electrical. Toggle electrical. Elt on. Input. Toggle fuel flow but. Toggle fuel flow. Toggle fuel flow. Toggle fuel. Set junction. Pump on. Input type is airplane. Fuel valve on. Turbine engine I. Turbine engine I. Set turbine engine. Toggle turbine engine. Master battery. Acknowledge master. Master caution off. Master caution on. Set master caution. Toggle master warning on. Pitot heat on. Set plasma on. Set junction line open. Pack flow on. Set pack on. Input type is airplane. Smoke on. Toggle avionics. Toggle master ignition switch. Toggle avionics master. Input.
Okay,
Toggle
so
master
there's-
ignition. Set turbines ignition. Set turbine 1. Set turbine 2. Set turbine 3. Set turbine. Toggle turbine. Set windshield de-ice on. Wing fold on. Active hydraulic app. Set freeze lats. Toggle freeze lats. Annunciator switch. Decrease transpond. Increase trans. Decrease transpond. Increase trans. Decrease transponder. Increase trans. Decrease transponder. Increase transpond. Decrease transpond. Transponder right. Transponder. Transponder
Nothing about a
right. Transponder
runway.
right. Increase transpond.
On and
Set
off
transponder.
light.
Autopilot. Autopilot altitude. Autopilot radio altitude. Autopilot approach. Autopilot attitude hold. Autopilot back course hold. Autopilot flight level. Autopilot heading hold. Autopilot localizer.
baby?
Autopilot mock hold. Set AP managed speed and mock. Autopilot NAV1 hold on.
Are you?
Input type is. Set AP managed speed and mock on.
Good.
Input type is air. Autopilot pitch leveler on. Autopilot.
What?
Auto throttle. Autopilot on. Input. Yaw damper on. Input. G limiter on. Condition lever 1 axis.
Damn.
Condition lever 2 axis. Condition lever condition decrease condition lever 1 increase condition lever 1 set condition lever decrease condition lever increase condition lever set condition lever decrease condition lever increase condition lever set condition lever decrease condition increase condition
There's nothing
set
about
condition
a light,
condition
guys.
decrease condition
I'm looking
increase
and I
condition
don't
condition
see.
set condition beacon lights off beacon lights on set beacon lights cabin lights on glare shield lights on landing lights on NAV lights on panel lights on input type is airplanes NAV lights on input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary bind landing lights on glare shield lights on input type is landing lights on input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding it NAV light panel lights on pedestal lights on input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding set recognition lights strobes on input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding is selector taxi lights on input type is airplanes
Let's see.
primary binding is secondary toggle beacon lights input type is airplanes primary binding is second toggle recognition lights input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding wing lights on input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding it decrease auto brake control increase auto brake control input type is airplanes parking brakes on input set auto brake control mute marker beacon input type is airplane toggle marker sound repair and refuel select one input repair and refuel input type is airplanes primary binding is secondary binding is
What?
select to rebind this control dollar description
Did you?
select 1 input select 2 input type is airplane select 3 input select 2 input type is air select 3 input type is air select 2 input type is airplanes select 3 input type is airplanes toggle variometer sound night vision display off
That ain't real bad.
night vision display on night vision display set night vision display night vision intense
Alright,
night vision
there's
intense
nothing to do
night
with
vision
this,
intense
so one
quick
thing-
trim toggle active pause display visual assistances toggle basic control CF landing ribbon off input type
Do
is
what?
general CFD on input type is general landing ribbon off landing ribbon on toggle landing ribbon
Oh,
nameplates
yeah.
on taxi ribbon off taxi ribbon on toggle taxi ribbon 3D thermals toggle delegate set altimeter engine auto stop auto start engine gauge keystroke increase wheel speed gauge keystroke auto start engine input type is airplanes primary binding is control plus E secondary gauge keystroke increase wheel speed
This is the pain in the
input
butt, guys.
minus input type plus input type is airplanes next flight fate quick pre-flight back on track back to fly headphone simulation on input type is general primary binding is secondary binding is selector headphone simulation off input type is general primary binding is secondary binding is select to rebind this control dollar description headphone simulation on toggle headphone sim rate input type is general decrease sim rate increase sim rate new UI window mode input type is general set pilot request catering truck input type is airplanes request luggage truck input type is airplane request ramp truck toggle speaker input ATC panel choice 0
Wait a
toggle
minute.
speaker request ramp truck request power supply request luggage truck request fuel Input type is airplane. Request catering truck.
I can make a key.
Request luggage truck. Input type is
Brandon,
airplane.
you even still with us, or did you bail on
power
us?
supply. Request luggage truck. Request power supply.
I can
Input type is
request
airplanes.
power supply.
Primary binding is. Secondary binding is.
I can make a hotkey
Select to
for
rebind is
that.
control. Dollar description. Press ESC to go back. Press space to select. Press backspace to unbind. Press H to more info. Press enter to search. Press B to access options and social features. Request luggage truck. Request power supply. Input type is airplanes.
At Ninja
Primary
Girl
binding is Shift plus
79.
Alt plus P. Secondary
I'm
binding
back.
is.
I'm feeling a crap
Select
ton better.
Request ramp truck. Toggle
I'm
speaker.
glad, baby.
ATC panel choice 0. Toggle speaker. Input type is airplanes. ATC panel choice 0. ATC panel choice 1. ATC panel choice 2. Input type is general. Prime. ATC panel choice 3. Input type is general. ATC panel choice. ATC panel choice. ATC panel choice 6. Input type is general. Primary binding is 6.
At Ninja Girl 79.
ATC panel. ATC
I
panel
hope
choice
I
9.
never get
Input
like
type
that
is general.
again.
ATC panel choice 8. Input type is general.
Yeah, that was
ATC panel
crazy
choice 9.
feeling like that.
Display. Open communications panel. Quick reply. Set copilot trans. Frequency swap. Toggle pushback. Spray on. Input type is airplanes. Primary binding is firefighting mission. Eye tracking reset. Toggle head tracking. Cockpit free look on. Cockpit camera slide. Cockpit view X translate. Cockpit view X translate. Cockpit view Y trans.
Alright, hold on,
Cockpit
guys,
view Y.
we're gonna try
Cockpit view Z
something.
trans. Cockpit view. Toggle drone. Toggle foreground. Drone top down. Attach drone to neck. Attach drone to pre. Toggle drone auto. Toggle drone auto. Set drone depth of. Set drone drone roll. Drone roll. Decreased. Decreased drone. Decreased. Increased
I
drone.
can't believe all
Decreased.
these keys,
Increased.
there's nothing to
Increased.
do with
Increased drone.
runway, but yet
Lock
it's
dr-
going
lock
off
dr-
and on. It's
drone
got to
slash-
be TFM.
Reset drone roll. Set drone book. Set drone bookmark. Set drone target. Toggle drone.
It's got to
Toggle.
be.
Drone pit. Drone yaw. Drone X. Drone Y. Drone Z translation. Drone Z trans. Set drone zoom out. Translate drone. Translate drone up. Translate drone.
At the blind
translate drone-
pilot.
Translate.
That's fantastic news for you,
Pitch
Christy.
drone down. Input type.
Glad you're
Yaw
feeling
drone-
somewhat
yaw-
better.
Roll drone left. Pitch drone. Pit,
We're gonna go
yaw
look
drone-
in TFN
yaw
in
drone-
a minute,
roll
but I bet
roll,
it's in there.
increase, Decrease drone. Previous. Next pilot position. Toggle plane control. Set slow mode on. Input type. Toggle plane controls. Input type is general. Prime. Set slow mode on. Toggle drone. Input type is general. Auto exposure on. Reset horizon. Photo mode on. Slow Z axis train. Slow Y axis train. Slow X axis. Slow Y. Cockpit interact. Cockpit interact. Cockpit interact. VR. Cockpit. Cockpit interact. Cockpit interaction. Secondary act. Cockpit. Interaction lock. Interact. EFB cockpit. EFB. VR. Character. Take control of character. Interact. Input type is
Alright.
general. Toggle console. Copy. Delete. Duplicate. Hide all edition.
This don't make sense.
DevCam rotation speed. DevCam.
There's
In-
no button.
Decrease DevCam X axis translation. Increase DevCam X axis translation. Lights. Action settings. Mouse. Kind. Indianapolis INTL.
Alright. I can hear the switch going off and on, off and on. So we're going to try something, guys. What I'm going to have to do Alright, here we're going to do. Let's go ahead and try to... Alright. Runways. And
menu. Currently
I
highlighted.
gotta go into
Resume.
TFM and turn
Button.
off the light setting.
Press Q to free cam. Press ESC to back. Press space to select. Press B to access options and social features.
Hold on, guys. Okay. Now.
Indy Ground, Boeing November 40 Tree 70.
You know what it
Request
is?
taxi
It's
for West Departure
first
with whiskey.
officer. Because now it ain't doing it.
Boeing November 40 Tree 70. Taxi to and hold short of runway 23, right via taxiway Alpha Alpha 1. Contact tower on 120.9er when ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 23, right via taxiway Alpha Alpha 1, Boeing Tree 70.
Alright, hold on, guys. Okay. Stop that. Alright. No. It's first officer hitting the switch. Exactly what it is. So let's see if we can at least get in the air now.
Takeoff checklist completed. Stabilized.
Why is it going so slow? I mean, this is... Let me go and see if it... First officer got issued,
At the
guys.
blind pilot. John, you'll have to report that to Matt, to see if he could fix that issue in the next upgrade of FO.
Oh, he'll have to fix it. He'll have to fix it. All right, 4.50. Let me check my trim real quick. Yeah, he needs to fix it for sure. There we go. All right, let's see if we can. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Let me. Just going very slow. That's very interesting. I don't understand this. I think it's his first officer's got everything just. This don't make sense. We're not getting no power at all. I wonder. I just wonder why it's not. Oh, I know the No, that wouldn't be. We're going to try something. It's going to make.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Kilo Lima Whiskey Victor automated weather observation. 0300
Okay.
Zulu. Wind 19er FIFA 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 12C dew point. Tree C. Altimeter 299er0.
Dollar subtitle. Dollar description.
Alright, guys, I know the problem.
Pause
Okay,
menu.
so first officer has got all kinds of issues.
225 degrees, 2 nautical miles. Press Q to free cam. Press ESC to back. Press B to access options and social features.
There's no way that we're doing a flight until first officer gets straightened out. I went to take off soon as I
At
went
Ninja Girl
off the
79.
runway.
Tyron and that sucks, babe.
As soon as I went to take off, it went to landing flow. So we'll get it straightened out, guys, but it's just not happening tonight. I need to do some more thinking and trying to understand what the heck is going on with first officer. Like, I really think that there's some stuff that, I don't know. I need to find someone that has flown on 2020, because the ones that I've spoke to so far, they haven't flown yet. And I need someone that's flown so I can,
Resume. Button.
Actually see what's going
Press Q to
on.
free. Restart. Button. End flight. Button. Settings. Button.
But it's
Press
okay.
Q to free cam.
It happens.
Press ESC to
It
back.
is what it is.
Press space to select.
Right?
Press B to access options and social features.
Alright.
Main menu.
I do want to
Button.
show you guys.
Settings. Main menu. Button. Pop-up dialog. Back to main menu. This
We're
action
going to
will
do one more thing real quick. We're going to
Main menu.
switch airplanes.
Challenge lead. Free flight. Button 5 of
At the
free
blind
flight.
pilot.
World map screen. Press Q to
UPI
switch.
made TP
Departure
step
location
back
not
and relax a
aircraft
few.
selection. Button. Departure location not aircraft selection. Button.
Okay, so
Select
here's all the
screen.
aircraft that they have.
Boeing F/A-18E Super. Boeing 777-300ER.
They got the
DMDG.
300 ER.
Boeing 737 MAX.
They got the
Asabo Studio. Boeing
737
Business Jet.
MAX.
Boeing Bell Model 407. Nemeth Designs.
The Bell
Flight
Model
Suite.
400.
XXXX. Cost is Aviat Pitts Special S1S. Airship Industries Skyship 6. Airbus Beluga XL. A 337. Airship Industries Skyship 600. Asabo Studio. Passengers.
Skyship.
XXXX.
I don't know
Cost
what that is.
000.00. Airbus A330-200R. Airbus A320 Neo. V. Air Tractor at 802. Aerovado KDL39 Albatros. Asabos. Text input field. Press space to enter text. Air Tractor at 8. Air. Bell Model 400. Boeing 737 MAX. Asabo. Bella 1H Huey. Dogue. Aviat Pitts Special S2S. Asabo. Bella 1H Huey. Dogue's Hangar. Cargo. XXXX. Bell Model 407. Boeing 700 and Boeing 777. Boeing F/A-18. CGS Hawk Aero 2. Cessna 185 Skywagon. Cessna C400 Corval. Campania Aeronautica Paulus. Cub Crafters X Cup. DG Aviation DG. Dyer DBM 900. Diamond Aircraft A40NG. Douglas DC-3. Eurocopter EC-135T1. Nemeth Designs. Fairchild Republic A-10C Thunderbolt. Flight EOO. Asabost. Gamble Cabri G2. Hot Air Balloon. Icon A5. Asabo Studio.
They got a
Default.
hot air balloon.
Jetson 1. Microsoft. MXSR. Microsoft. North American Aviation P-51D Mustang. Payday Aviation Draco X. Pilatus PC6/B2H4. Power Shoot Sky Rascal. Robin DR400/100 Cadet. Ryan NYP Spirit of St. Louis. Microsoft. Textron Aviation Beechcraft Bonanza G36. Textron Aviation Cessna 152. Asabo Viking Air CL415. Volocopter Volocity. Microsoft.
Viking
Zipco Edge 540.
Volocopter.
Zlin Aviation Savage Cub. Asabo Studio. Rescue. Zipco Edge 5. Zlin Aviation Savage Cub. Text input field. Press space to enter text. Power Shoot Sky Rascal. Microsoft. Jetson 1. Icon A5. Hot Air Balloon. Gamble Cabri G2. Flight EOO. Asabo. Fairchild Republic A-10C. Eurocopter EC. Douglas DC-3. Retrofit. Diamond Aircraft A40NG. Dyer DBM 9. DG Aviation DG-1. Cub Crafters X Cub. Campania Aeronautica Paulista Cap 4 Paulistin Ha. Microsoft / D. Fair. Gamble Cap. Hot Air Balloon. Icon A5. Hot Air Balloon. Asabo Studio. Basic. XXXX.
A hot
Cost
air
is
balloon.
000.000. Available aircraft. Icon A5. Asabo. Hot Air Balloon. Asabo Studio. Basic. XXXX.
What
Cost
can
is
you
000.
do with a hot air balloon?
Diamond Aircraft A4. Compania Aeronautica Vol. Cessna C4, Cessna 185 Skywagon, Cessna C400 Corvallis TT, Micro, CGS Hawk, Boeing Boeing 777 Boeing F/A-18E Super, Boeing 777-300ER, PMDG, General Electric GE90-115B,
Anyways.
XXXX. Cost is free flight, world map
Guys,
screen.
that's gonna be it
Press
for
G to
now.
switch
I
to
got
controls.
some other stuff I
Press
need to
numpad
get
minus
done.
sign / numpad plus sign to zoom.
And
Press ESC to back.
I don't know.
Press
This
space to
is
select. Press B
weird
to access
stuff
options and
going
social
on.
features.
So,
By default, this screen uses an analog cursor to pan and zoom the 3D globe when using keyboard or controller. Cursorless
anyways,
flight planning is available by pressing Main menu.
we're
Currently
going to
highlighted.
jump out of
Pop-up
here
dialog.
for now.
Quit to desktop. Are you sure you want to leave Flight Simulator
Hopefully, I
2024?
can figure this
Currently
out.
highlighted. Quit to desktop.
But we'll be
Button.
back in
Option 1 of 2.
2020 tomorrow. We got
Press
flights
ESC
to
to
do.
cancel. Press space to select.
But I've done so much with this, I don't have the energy to fly 2020 tonight. Brandon bailed on us. He's good at that. All right, we're out here, guys.